Thanks, Sophie. Hello, I'm Jennifer Jones with the headlines in Wales. They don't oppose solar energy, but conservationists warn large solar farms like this one in Newport could push rare wildlife habitats beyond the point of no return.
If you accumulate more and more solar farms, that's going to have, a bigger impact, and species will not be able to spread and disperse as much as they are at the moment and find breeding places.
Well, supporters say solar energy will cut bills and help tackle climate change. Also in the programme, an organised crime gang who imported millions of pounds worth of cannabis into Wales through the post is being sentenced. The Prince of Wales meets the parents and friends of Jack Lewis, who died by suicide, as the foundation set up in his name opens a new mental health hub. And a mural of the late Cardiff City defender Sol Bamba is unveiled in front of his friends and family.
Just to see him memorialised in such an immense way, it just means the world.
Good evening. Noswaith. Rare wildlife habitats could be pushed beyond the point of no return by the construction of large solar farms. That's the warning from conservationists this evening. There are more than 1,000 solar farms across the UK, and Gwent Wildlife Trust says one of the largest has contributed to a drop in the number of birds and insects on the Gwent Levels, which is a protected site of special scientific interest. Jordan Davis has the story.
Bird spotting on the Gwent Levels, a protected patchwork of watery reens and ditches teeming with life. Ben manages this reserve.
We're currently got a good colony of nesting egrets, so you've got a really good number here now, which is really encouraging.
But some species here, like some bees, aren't faring so well. And conservationists believe it's because of sites like this, Llanwern Solar Farm, one of the largest in the UK, built on the Levels. The size of 100 rugby pitches, it can power more than 20,000 homes. Natalie heads up Gwent Wildlife Trust. She says the farm is affecting bird, bee and bat numbers.
It is a SSSI for the majority of the Levels area, which means it's a site of special scientific interest. And the clue's in the name, it's special. Lapwings weren't returning to the site to breed, and they're very rare now as a species on the Levels. The insect mass has gone down, and we found that overall there was a poor effect in terms of the mitigation that the solar farm were asked to put in.
And a Welsh Government report released last year backs this up, linking the farm to falling numbers of lapwing birds and insects. But now concern is growing because even larger solar farms have been proposed for the Levels.
It will be cumulative. I mean, one solar farm on its own will be devastating enough for the special landscape that we've got here. But yes, if you accumulate more and more solar farms, all of that is going to come crashing down if we start to go beyond the point of no return, if you like.
And it's an issue across Wales. On Anglesey, a farm more than twice the size of Llanwern has just been approved. It could power every home on the island, but there is local opposition. Tensions over renewable energy projects reflect a broader debate about how best to use Britain's limited land.
We haven't got any more land, we can't create it, and yet we need our land to generate sufficient to provide food security, to contribute to energy security, and to also deliver our clean water and clean air and our biodiversity. So, it's about trying to come up with a good land use optimization strategy that will allow us to understand where best to put some of these different uses, or how we're going to use land to produce, to deliver these different sort of services that we need.
But while some conservationists are concerned, solar energy supporters say solar farms can boost biodiversity and host rare species. Solar, they say, could cut bills, boost jobs, bolster energy security and tackle climate change. Dan McCullum runs an organisation that sets up solar projects. He says tackling climate change has to be the priority.
the bigger the better. If we could develop more a massive solar farm here, we would, but with simply not the land. There's obviously, with a bigger solar farm, it's more efficient. The costs come down because you've got plant, etc. on site. It's much cheaper to make a larger solar farm than a smaller solar farm.
The Welsh Government said it would be inappropriate to comment because Welsh ministers would have a role in deciding if future solar farms are built on the levels. The operators of Llanwern Solar Farm have been asked to comment.
Jordan Davis reporting there. Human remains found in the Banau Brycheiniog National Park have been confirmed to be those of a man who'd been missing for 6 years. 33-year-old Jordan Moray disappeared from his flat in Cwm Bach near Aberdare in 2019, with his games console still running and mobile phone still charging. South Wales police say the remains were found in a remote area near Llwynon Reservoir. Mr Moray's death is not being treated as suspicious. Holyhead Port will operate at limited capacity for 2 months to allow for planned maintenance work. 2 berths were damaged during Storm Dara last December, affecting thousands of travellers and deliveries and causing the complete closure of the port for 5 weeks. Terminal 3 has now closed again until November. Both Stena Line and Irish Ferries will now share Terminal 5 with an amended timetable. A 75-year-old man from Prestatyn has died after falling from a hotel balcony in Thailand. Thai police say Keith Jones died at the scene of the fall in Pattaya on Saturday. They believe there were no suspicious circumstances and say investigations are continuing. An organised crime gang which smuggled more than 300 kilograms of cannabis from the United States to South Wales through the post is being sentenced at Cardiff Crown Court. The drugs seized by detectives had a street value of £11 million. Well, Colette Hume is in the newsroom. And Colette, this was a huge operation. Tell us some more about it.
It certainly was huge. It was described as drug importation and supply on an industrial scale, Jen. This gang was making a profit of between £3,000 and £10,000 per day. 80 addresses across South Wales were used to send those parcels filled with cannabis. At the head of the UK operation was a 28-year-old trainee electrical engineer from Cardiff called Abu Bakr Khawa. Below him were another 10 people in the gang. They were receiving packages, they were collecting packages, taking them to a stash house in the Welsh capital, where they were then divided up into smaller quantities. They were earning between £50 and £200 a day for every package they received. Now, some of these packages came in the scented candle range called Yankee Candles packaging, but it was noticed that the packages weren't as heavy as normal candles should be. And 327 kilos of cannabis were intercepted by UK Border Force agents. £11 million worth of drugs were found, intercepted at sorting offices belonging to the Royal Mail in Barry and Cardiff. The worldwide head of the operation, Adam Zed, based in the US from where those packages were sent, he has not yet been apprehended, and he would send angry messages to the UK head saying, why are my packages being intercepted? Why aren't we making enough money, Jen?
And tomorrow then, the 11 of them will find out how long they will spend in prison.
Yes, and today we have heard from barristers packed into Court 5 at Cardiff Crown Court, each presenting their mitigation, explaining why their client shouldn't receive a hefty sentence. So we've had excuses ranging from, I did not know that I was part of a major organised crime gang, I was forced into it by my sister, I was a gopher, I was involved in gambling, I was addicted, my business went to the wall, I had to make money. We've had all this mitigation from the defendants today, but it seems that they will receive very hefty sentences when Judge Eugene Egan makes his decision tomorrow from 10:30 at Cardiff Crown Court. OK,
Colette, thank you very much. Colette Hume there with that update. Investigators from a charity have taken on the case of a missing woman from Anglesey who was last seen 4 years ago. 22-year-old Catherine Maguire, a student at Bangor University, was last seen in her hometown of Holyhead in November 2021. The police case into her disappearance remains active, but Locate International are now carrying out their own independent investigation at the request of her family.
It's still early days as far as this investigation is concerned, but the team is very active on it and meeting regularly to discuss it. It is possible that there'll be an appeal for information in the future, but we would actually encourage anybody who may have information now, even if they felt maybe in the past they weren't too sure about coming forward or they discounted the information they had as being too small, we really ask that people come forward.
The chair of Pembrokeshire Coast National Park Authority has described a decision to quash its planning permission for a controversial outdoor pursuit centre in North Pembrokeshire as disappointing. The High Court ruled that the decision was unlawful because the authority's members didn't have the full information available about the potential impact of the activities that would stem from the centre on nearby Cabourg Bay, which is a special area of conservation. Well, Alex Schofield has been at Cabourg near Cardigan for us.
The company behind this project, Adventure Beyond, have been running coasteering trips here in Cabourg Bay for a number of years, but wildlife campaigners have raised concerns that some of these activities may be disrupting nesting birds and seals here in Cabourg Bay, which is a special area of conservation. There's also a site of special scientific interest here. Now, when the company was awarded planning permission by the National Park in October last year for a new outdoor pursuits hub in nearby Moyle Grove, the decision was challenged in the courts by the campaign group Wild Justice in the form of a judicial review. That review was held in Haverfordwest in June by a High Court judge, and it was announced at the end of last week that Wild Justice had won their case on 2 of 5 legal grounds. It was found that committee members had not been given adequate information about nesting birds here in Cabourg Bay and the potential impact of the activities on a site of special scientific interest. That means planning permission has now been quashed for the new centre, and plans will have to be resubmitted and reconsidered by the National Park. Now, the project to build the new centre has received substantial public funding from the UK Shared Prosperity Fund administered by Pembrokeshire Council. The council has told me it's now reviewing the implications of the judgment both internally and with partners. The chair of the National Park, Dr. Madeleine Havard, told a meeting of the authority this morning that the judgment was obviously disappointing for them, and members will now discuss it and take advice on the next steps. Wildlife campaigners have said they're thrilled by this judgment. Adventure Beyond say they hope the building in time will be used by visitors. But clearly there is a question mark at the moment about the future of this project.
Alex Schofield reporting there from Pembrokeshire. Still to come in the programme. Painted by local residents to honour his legacy, a mural of the late Cardiff City defender Sol Bamba is unveiled just down the road from the club's home ground.
And with low pressure dominating, it's looking changeable and feeling autumnal through the rest of the week. I'll have a full forecast in a few minutes.
Prince William has been to Cardiff today to meet the friends and family of former Swansea City Academy player Jack Lewis. Jack was just 27 when he took his own life. His friends and the Ammanford community set up a foundation in his name aimed at helping people who are struggling with their mental health. On World Suicide Prevention Day, the Prince's charity, the Royal Foundation, is helping the Jack Lewis Foundation to expand and set up its next mental health hub at the Principality Stadium, from where David Grundy reports.
A talented footballer, Jack Lewis was a Swansea City Academy player. In 2019, at the age of 27, he took his own life. His friends and the Ammanford community set up a foundation in his name. Its aim helping people who are struggling with their mental health. When the Jack Lewis Foundation was set up in Ammanford, they started with just one counsellor. They've since expanded and have helped over 6,500 people. They have a base at the Swansea.com Stadium, and now they have a base here at the Principality Stadium in Cardiff. The expansion to Cardiff has been possible with the help of the WRU and the Prince of Wales's charity, the Royal Foundation. Today, the Prince met Jack's family, his friends and some of the people helped by the foundation.
Men get told to be quiet, don't cry, don't talk about your feelings. It's amazing to see Jack Lewis Foundation spreading awareness and spreading words such as it's okay to talk. It's okay to be upset and talk and have feelings.
Wales head coach Steve Tandy and Wales captain Jack Morgan spoke to the Prince about the importance of sports people speaking about their mental health. The Prince then got to speak to some of the foundation's staff about the support they offer, including one-to-one counselling and wellbeing workshops, and even had a go at painting therapy that's designed to help people open up.
We can use art therapy then as a way of helping people to open up, and it also helps then as well to have a distraction. So you've got something, you're kind of doing something with your hands, doing something creative as well, so it can help to kind of open up some emotions as well.
What now has a national hub at the Principality Stadium all started at Ammanford Football Club, and some of Jack's closest friends say the support on offer is clearly needed.
If I'm honest, there probably needs more of charities like us dotted around Wales and across the UK to make sure people have got that support to know where to go to. My worry is if the foundation wasn't there, where would those people go, or would they go anywhere? So that is that's a testament to the foundation of the good work it's doing.
For someone like Prince William to take notice of all the hard work and the great work that the amazing people have been doing, it's like I said, I just sense of proud, just so proud really of what everyone's been doing. It just took really a small group of people from Ammanford just to start the foundation off, and it's just highlighted existing sort of issues.
The plan now is to set up further hubs across Wales. On World Suicide Prevention Day, Jack's dad, Jesse, says the foundation is about creating something positive from his loss.
Jack was absolutely no recluse, because Jack was, he could be sort of really out there as a person, but he was also quite a private person. Especially at home, he didn't want no fuss, no nonsense, and I think Jack's the way Jack was outside was because he was hurting and he didn't want other people to hurt. So he was always the kind of person that would do things to make other people laugh. So I think he'd look at this and think it was bizarre that somebody would be doing this in his name.
Jesse Lewis there, the father of Jack Lewis, ending that report by David Grundy. And if you've been affected by any of the issues in this story, you can access help and support from the BBC Action Line website. Wales rugby legend George North has revealed the weight he had to carry after a series of head injuries made him the poster boy for debate around concussion. But he believes his ordeal improved understanding of the issue. 10 years have passed since the winger suffered 4 serious blows to the head in a 5-month period, forcing him to take an extended break from the game. Controversy over the management of brain injuries continues to hang over the sport, and Wales' second highest try scorer has now opened up about the intense scrutiny that he was under.
My name, for some reason, became sort of partnered with concussion, and at the time it's very hard because you have a lot of people commenting, a lot of people writing articles, a lot of doctors commenting, and it weighs heavy on it weighed heavy on me. I was still a young man at the time, still trying to be the best I could be, still wanted to pursue my career, but very aware that my health came first.
And you can hear more of that interview with George North on the BBC Sport website. Football now, and Wales manager Craig Bellamy has described this latest international window as the toughest week he's faced in the job. Bellamy was speaking after Wales' 1-0 friendly defeat to Canada in Swansea last night. He says he'll spend the next month praying his best players are fit for their crucial World Cup qualifier against Belgium.
England's most important. It's our next game. Belgium will take care of itself. But it's our next game. And honestly, what will I do now? Sit, watch games, pray, have a candle when every time a player of ours is playing, that we don't pick up any more injuries than what we had on this one. We need a squad. We need our best players. To play against the top teams, we need our best players.
And staying with football, a mural of the late Cardiff City defender Sol Bamba has been unveiled just down the road from the club's home ground. He died last year after falling ill whilst coaching in Turkey. He'd been diagnosed with cancer in 2021, and after his death, his wife revealed the disease had returned. The tribute has been painted by local residents to honour his legacy, and it was unveiled to his friends and family this afternoon, and Lily Hewitson was there.
Just over a year since his death, Cardiff City hero Sol Bamba has been immortalised in this fitting tribute. A salute to the defender's legacy, painted by creatives and the Grangetown community.
Sol was a legend, not just at the club, but in the city, Wales, worldwide, and he left a huge impact on a lot of people. It took us a while. It was supposed to take us 4 days. It ended up taking us 2 weeks, mainly because of the Welsh weather. But we're here now, so yeah, I'm glad it's done, and it looks really beautiful. It's such a powerful tribute because even his gesture where he's saluting, it hits home for fans of the club. It hits home because. Like whenever he scored or whenever he was celebrating and he done that, it was like he felt like he was looking at you.
After being diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma in 2021, Sol Bamba died last year at the age of 39. Regarded as a club legend, his death devastated Cardiff City fans and those who played alongside him. His family say this larger-than-life tribute is just like Sol was.
Oh, it's just amazing. When I saw it, just to see him memorialised in such immense way, it just means the world. I think he would say, no, we don't need any of that. No, it's not for me. But then he'd come home, he'd shut the door and he'd be absolutely chuffed. Yeah, he was one of those ones. He'd pretend that he wouldn't like the fuss, but he really did.
Sol Bamba became an instant hero at Cardiff City. Scoring on his debut in 2016 was just the start. Helping the side to Premier League promotion the following season, the fans' love for Sol Bamba only grew stronger. He played for the Bluebirds until 2023, returning years later as assistant manager under Sabri Lamouchi, retaining Cardiff's championship status. But for all his achievements on the field, it was Sol Bamba's beaming smile and welcoming presence that so many remember him for.
I met him in Jum'ah, in Friday prayer in Cardiff, and I was 16 years old, and he spoke to me for like 30 minutes and he didn't even know me. I never related to a lot of people, especially like footballers at Cardiff City, for a very long time. I remember Rudy Gestede, like Peter Whittingham, and a lot of others that, left an impact in the city. But, Sol was like a breath of fresh air.
This iconic celebration salute was a Cardiff City fan favourite. Sol Bamba, a club legend who will never be forgotten. And now for the fans, they can walk down this street towards the stadium to support the team who adored him so much. Lily Hewitson, BBC Wales Today in Cardiff.
And finally tonight, a Welsh pianist has been nominated for this year's prestigious Mercury Prize. Joe Webb from Neath made the list from his album Hamstrings and Hurricanes, which was recorded on a farm in Llandrindod, Wales. It's his debut record, and his improvisational jazz style has already won praise from the likes of Jules Holland. Other nominees for the award include Wolf Alice, Sam Fender and Pulp. The prize is awarded to the best album released in the last 12 months by a British or Irish act. Joe Webb today told reporters about the recording process.
It's on a farm in the middle of Wales, super beautiful place, and yeah, our accommodation is just above the studio, and they've got an amazing live room, beautiful piano. Sam's got beautiful drums, Will's got beautiful bass. So we just set up camp. There's a tiny kitchen in there, so we sort of, made a load of food. So yeah, to set us through for the 3 days, and then we just sort of lived there. And we try to approach the recording process like doing gigs, as opposed to playing individual tunes. Because we're used to like through playing in concerts, so we just sort of did a series of gigs really.
Well, and good luck to him. Fantastic achievement. It's been A mostly wet day across Wales today, though, and Sue, it's looking unsettled.
It is, Jen, yes. It's looking changeable and feeling autumnal through the rest of this week. Some heavy showers, strong winds at times, but also some brighter spells mixed in. We had some heavy downpours today with a few brighter spells too. Some great rainbow pictures from our weather watchers. This rare double rainbow at Aberdaron in Gwynedd earlier. A real mix of weather on the Llyn Peninsula today. A weather system pushing in from the Atlantic brought today's wet and windy conditions, but it's staying unsettled because low pressure's anchored to the north and west of the UK, and that's driving our weather through the rest of the week. So as that cold front clears, it will still be dry for a time tonight, but a scattering of showers, cooler where it's clearer inland, lows of 9 to 12 Celsius. But as those showers push in on westerly winds off a warmer sea, that increases the risk of thunder. So tomorrow's looking blustery, some early brightness, but those scattered showers developing more widely as it warms up through the day with that hail and thunder risk. Bright spells in between, but they're fast-moving showers rattling through on brisk westerly winds gusting 30 to 40 miles per hour along exposed coasts, and feeling cooler than recent days, between 14 Celsius in parts of Powys and 16 in Flintshire and Monmouthshire. Tomorrow night, those blustery showers continue on and off, moving from west to east. Some sharp ones overnight too, lows of 8 to 11 Celsius. Similar on Friday, showers lighter for a time, brisk winds, sunshine and showers today, but they will turn heavier in the afternoon and feeling cooler again on Friday at 14 to 17 Celsius. And then into the weekend, a brief ridge of high pressure builds on Saturday. Then another low pressure system will bring further wet and windy weather on Sunday. Now, there is a chance that this could be our first named storm of the season. We'll keep an eye on that one. So Saturday's the drier day of the weekend, but still a few showers around. We're more likely to see that heavier rain on Sunday, especially in the hills. Gale force winds too. Signs of more unsettled and changeable weather into the start of next week as well. Although we'll see temperatures recovering again and maybe looking a little more settled towards the end of next week, but some very changeable weather to come before then. Jen.
Sue, thank you very much. Well, let's get a reminder of tonight's top story. Rare wildlife habitats could be pushed beyond the point of no return by large solar farms, according to conservationists. Gwent Wildlife Trust says Llanwern Solar Farm, one of the largest in the UK, has contributed to a drop in the number of birds and insects on the Gwent levels. The company has been asked to comment. And that is Wales Today. We'll be back with the headlines at around 10:30 tonight. But until then, thanks for your company and do have a good evening. Bye-bye.